Yo, you guys are showing so much love to the Igor video. It is absolutely insane. It's been a minute since I had a video that was as watched as the Igor one, and you know, the greatest albums make for the greatest videos, so I'm just really happy to see you guys showing some love on there, commenting, liking the video. It was just really cool to put a video out there that I was excited about and to see it received so well by you guys. So the support and the welcome that you guys gave that video was just really cool to see. I just wanted to start this video off saying a huge shout out to everybody who supported the channel and watched that video, and you should definitely check it out if you haven't. Plus you should definitely go listen to Igor because it's absolutely a fantastic album. And so yeah man, shout out to you guys. You guys are absolutely amazing. It was just really cool to see that support, man. What's going on, guys? So this video is probably a bit overdue at this point. You know, this album came out on Friday and it is currently Tuesday night. You know, it's really tough for me to record videos on the weekends because of family and things going on and all that, so it's probably taken me a little too long to record this. Yesterday I was going to, but we had some technical difficulties, some camera issues that I was working on, so yeah, I just feel like I owed you guys this explanation as to why this video is coming out now instead of on Monday or Saturday. We're listening to Injury Reserve today. Now I'm gonna be honest, I've only heard Floss from them. And honestly, I remember liking it. I remember thinking it was really cool and very experimental and the production was great, but I don't remember it sticking with me too well. I honestly can't really remember too many of the tracks off that project. So what I'm looking for in this project is along that same vein, you know, experimental sounds, really cool production, some awesome vibes, but I'm hoping that this one sticks with me a little more than Floss did. I also still have to listen to Drive It Like It's Stolen. A lot of you guys have asked for that video. It's coming, and how long it'll take for me to end up making the Drive It Like It's Stolen video will depend on how enjoyable I find this project. So I've heard lots of good things about it. You know, Injury Reserve, I've never really been disappointed by them, so I'm just, you know, excited to see what they have to offer on this project, the self-titled album. It's going to be an interesting listen, I assume, so I'm glad you guys are here. Let's get right into this. The first track is Karuna and Lime, and yeah, let's get to it. Alright, the pitching. Yo, this sound they're using for the snare is unbelievable, dude. What the hell do they do to that snare? It sounds so weird, man. Oh my god, that's crazy already. Man, the piano bass is simple, it's just a note, but it sounds really gritty, you know, the piano sound that they chose for that. And the vocal chops, I mean, crazy energetic. This beat's already sounding really interesting.
Can't never knock the hustle, get that shit how you live. If you didn't help me get time, yeah, I'm from the 5'10", nigga, nickel and dime. Yeah, I know it's
vocals in the background are sick.
Getting checks, Corona and Lime.
Oh.
That's that shit the pride. If you
hold up, baby girl, don't take to the picture, get my left side. When I get that whip, I'll make that shit. Maybe I'll see you in my next slide. Maybe I'll see you in my next slide.
Yo, the scratching is great. Yo, the scratching at the end was godly, dude. That was sick. Yeah, man, that beat is super different. You know, that snare sounds like someone took the metal lid off of a trash bin and then put it underwater and whacked it with a wooden spoon and recorded that sound. That's what that snare sounds like. Really cool, really interesting. Definitely very, very different. Very experimental. You know, that's not going to be for everybody, but I think that that is just awesome. The verses are super dope, super aggressive, you know, very well delivered. That's a fantastic introduction. It's short, it's got lots of energy to it, sounds chaotic, sounds, you know, pretty hype with those background vocals kind of like hyping up the rappers, you know, in their verses. Really cool introduction, man. It gets you very excited for the rest of this project. Is that a xylophone? Sounds kind of like low to be a xylophone. Sounds dope though. I don't know if you guys noticed, but the bass is actually a vocal sample or a vocal chop. You know, it's actually someone going doom 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 to act as the bass line along with an 808. It adds a human element to the track. It adds a really cool element to the production, to the vibe of this track. It makes the beat feel a little more personal. The fact that, you know, the producers actually put themselves into the music. Instead of just creating the music, you hear their voices, you hear, you know, everything like that going on in the beat is really cool.
Know what it's for. Get your shit together, get your jaw up off the floor.
We're so used to looking at these new goddamn Instagram. Y'all niggas see these Instagram pages where we're just gonna go ahead and skip to the bottom, because can you guys notice that he does have the rates 3000s on? The new dressing off the mannequin shit. You a cool guy and all black on some mannequin shit. I be breaking next and I ain't even anything that can't well. Murphy Lee's lost son.
They don't like my outfit, but they like the outcome. You never see me shoes, well that's the reason I bought them. They copy my style.
Rico's going off.
Listen to it back and then I heal myself. I got money in the power and I'm still myself.
Real quick, so when Richie with a T was talking, you know, during that introduction, it sounded almost like there was a limiter on his voice. You know, the vocals kept getting louder and then quieter and then louder and then quieter, almost like there was something like pushing the volume down. Not sure if that was intentional, not sure if that's, you know, something wrong with the mix. You know, all I know is that it was noticeable, and so if it was intentional, great, and if it's not intentional, then that needs to be fixed ASAP. Also, Rico Nasty's verse is great, but the S's sound really harsh. You know, in the mix, in the EQing or in the de-essers, it's just little things that could have been tweaked to be a little more pleasant or more pleasing to the ear and not as harsh, you know, but just some observations. I didn't want to leave them to the end or else I might have forgotten them.
My man, I lost my mind and I still ain't got my head right. Yeah, out in London I was staring like you don't know what it's for. Get your shit together, get your shit together.
Whoa! I love that the ad-lib is houseway. Yo, okay, yeah, so I had some criticisms about halfway through that track about the mixing in it, but the message is really cool, you know, criticizing how superficial people have become, how designer clothes have gotten to be so influential, how there are literally entire Instagram pages dedicated to showing outfits off and including a link to every single piece of someone's outfit so that the people can go buy them, but then when you go to buy them, they're like ridiculously overpriced just because they're name brand. You know, it's just a really cool message. It's just really cool subject matter. The performances were great. The verses, the writing is really great. Just those tiny little issues in the mixing that I noticed. But it's a fantastic track. I love how experimental this is.
Oh, fuck, boy, get the fuck up. Get up off your ass. What? This is the fresh out to me up in my white seat. Need nothing. All of a sudden, don't listen. Get my nails done. Ship on something icy. Catch me out with Sydney.
Oh my god.
I made a way for you faggots to get your money. Nigga, please back up.
This is nuts. I love the static in the beat. Oh, and switching it up now? Okay. This pad is so sweet, man.
Hey, now y'all, I ain't really gonna
Siren in the background, really cool. Shout out to Big Quint, bro, getting name dropped by Steppa J Groggs on Injury Reserve's album, man. Really dope. Yo, the reaction community is getting bigger and bigger, and the presence on the internet is just getting larger and larger. The influence is growing. The artists are starting to take note of the people who are reacting and reviewing to their music. Logic follows Miami. Eminem referenced a Sean C video. It's Sean C. I know he didn't name drop Sean C, but we know he was talking about Sean. Sean lives in Detroit. Sean is one of the bigger reaction channels who was pretty harsh on Revival. And now, Injury Reserve mentioning Big Quinn. I mean, come on, man. Huge shout out to Quinn. Glad he got that name drop. Yeah. This is crazy. Yeah, that outro with JPEG Mafia and the pitching of the vocals is, again, not going to be for everybody. It's not really music that is going to get a lot of plays. It's very experimental, it's not mainstream whatsoever, it's not very melodic, it's very energetic, and it's very experimental. And so there is a very niche group that is going to be listening to this back to back. But it's a sound that I would say for the majority is not going to be very appealing. I get the appeal. I think it's really creative. I think it's very artistic. I think the pitching of the vocals was really cool. Peggy's delivery, the screaming, was just really, really good. The lyricism on this is I mean, it's been on 10. It's been really good. The verses have been really good. I personally am really enjoying the very experimental production, you know, sirens in the background, pen clicking, very distorted snares. I mean, all of that. I love it, you know. So this track is absolutely great. Loving the Big Quint reference, loving the Malcolm Butler interception reference as a Patriots fan. I mean, gotta give it up to him. That interception versus the Seahawks was too clutch. But yeah, it's a great track.
Still milky, call it what you want, ho. More way on me. He's line, fifth grade, so socialist. High school, trying to make $1, growing up when CDs stop happen.
Really cool the way that they made this track where they had his lyrics keep skipping. I'm reading the lyrics here, and it seems like he's criticizing music piracy. He talks about FrostWire, BearShare, LimeWire. I was a LimeWire dude, you know, growing up. That's what everybody was using. And then Pirate Bay. So he's saying, how am I supposed to make $1 growing up when CDs stop happening and people are getting all their music through online downloads and illegal online downloads at that? Very solid criticism. Music piracy is definitely an issue. It always has been, and it unfortunately always will be. But it was really cool to hear it delivered in this way, and it's a really cool, interesting little 30-second interlude. I thought it was dope. Next track is Jailbreak the Tesla. I have not heard this. I know they dropped it a while ago. A lot of you guys asked me to listen to it. For some reason, I just never got around to it, so I mean, this is the reaction you guys have been asking for a while now, so here we go.
Fuck it, jailbreak the Tesla.
The bells are great. The aggressive bass is awesome.
Fuck it, jailbreak the Tesla. Yeah, broadcast, yo. Raised by the internet, final stage, yo. We could do anything by the age, yo. Did the start, there was with the rest, no city, yo. But you could probably not even to never accident. What if you could do the same for the win, yeah? Turn the X into a Batmobile win, yeah. I can't wait till a nigga get touched into IRS for fun. That nigga I'll probably do it, girl, I don't.
The car sounds in the background are awesome.
Fuck it, jailbreak the Tesla.
The tire screeching, awesome.
A job on my mind, but then I never really had a job like mine. They say the boom, cool. My sub like a year just to get the verse shit. Richie with a T-Gross, pop a circuit. Elon on them shrooms. You don't need the guessing.
Yo, this track, first of all, it's hilarious. I mean, just the thought of a jailbroken Tesla is absolutely hilarious to me. You know, he says you could turn it into a Batmobile. That's pretty funny. The line where he says your cargo room my cargo, and then he says nothing because Teslas are silent. It's a really cool way to flex on people for having such a futuristic car. It's also a really funny idea. It's got lots of funny imagery in it. You know, I personally think that it's a really enjoyable track. I love the car sounds in the background. I love the tire screeching. I think it's really experimental and energetic. I think it's different. I think it appeals to people who are able to appreciate the creativity that they're demonstrating. You know, the art that they're creating, the freedom that they're expressing by putting car sounds on a hip-hop track. You know, they literally said, I want to be able to do anything with my song, and they did anything that they wanted to with their music. And so that freedom that they're demonstrating, that experimental side of their music is just really cool. It's going to appeal to people who are able to appreciate that, and of course, it's going to go absolutely insane live. It's a great track, man. And yeah, Elon Musk definitely needs to jailbreak a Tesla. I gotta see it. I gotta see it at some point in my life. I need it. Amin's verse was really dope. The beatboxing? Hell yeah, let's get it. Oh, this feels old school. Let's get it. The bounce is nuts. Love that wordplay. Yeah. That verse was crazy. The robotic voice in the background, super sick.
Down on the actions, or they hold their breath and turn around for reaction. Say shit happens. We well accustomed to you.
Super dope, man. Love the piano, love the bass line. The beatboxing on this track is really awesome. The bounce to this is absolutely crazy. I like the bass line, I like the piano. You know, it's a really playful beat. It's so fire, it's very old school. That hook is insanely catchy. Both of the verses are really awesome. You know, the flexing is just awesome. I love the wordplay, especially in Steppa J. Grog's verse, shooting texts to his bros, but then glad nobody's shooting texts to my bros, you know, the Tech Nines. I went from Duck Duck Goose to getting fucked up off Goose is really cool. Connect 4 to hitting my connect for 4 grams or more is really dope. The wordplay that he uses to demonstrate the act of growing up and moving on to this more adult lifestyle is crazy. I mean, I really enjoyed that. That was really cool. You know, one thing I'm really enjoying about this project is they seem so laid back and so comfortable when they deliver their verses. You know, they're so free with the production, with the lyricism. They sound like it's so natural to them to just spit fire on the tracks, and then at the same time, and that gives the whole album a really laid back, playful kind of feel. But at the same time, the subject matter can be pretty serious. You know, their lyrics hit home. They talk about real things in their verses. So it's like this duality of being playful and cheerful and uplifting and carefree and free and laid back. And at the same time, spitting truth, spitting facts, and spitting flames on their verses is really dope. That is ridiculously creative, man. That is well executed, it is funny, it's fire, and it's creative and it's different, and there's nothing bad for me to say about that. That is really dope. That is really, really cool, man. I don't know why, but I'm so excited about how creative that is. That's so inspiring. That's crazy. You know, when I said earlier on that Floss didn't really stick with me, and that it wasn't really that memorable to me, I don't want to bash Floss. This is a really cool project. And I remember saying a lot of good things about that album when I first heard it. So don't get me wrong, you know, I'm not bashing it when I say it isn't memorable. It's just not memorable, but it is a dope project. This is definitely going to be more memorable than that. This is really interesting. It's got me in a better mood right now than I was when I first started listening to it because of how hyped it got me, because of how creative it is and how cool and different it is. You know, it's really cool music. That's what it is. Seeing people be themselves and do different things and creative things and be so artistic is cool. And it gets people excited, and that is really brilliant about this project. I'm having a blast listening to this. This is much better than Floss already, and this is definitely going to make me want to listen to Drive It Like It's Stolen. I'm not going to expect Drive It Like It's Stolen to be as polished or as good as this, but I do want to listen to it still. So yeah, man. I really felt like I had to say that. I know we're not even done with this project, but I'm just enjoying this so much. I want to make that very clear to you guys. This is tremendous. If you haven't listened to this, you should. I'm already recommending that you go and listen to this, and I'm not even done with it. So yeah, go do that. I love the vocals. This is wavy, bro. The vocals are crazy.
I can't wait too damn far to stop now. I hit right back up, forever on my own. No bag up, gotten less, don't get it twisted. I still love it though. This past year I see more time on the road, then they get different zip code. Ain't shit.
This is crazy. Okay, so right now what I hear, because I know you guys like when I break down production, I'm hearing really smooth keys. Like it sounds like they turned the cutoff filter down to really make it almost sound like it's underwater. It sounds really cool, very laid back, very wavy. I'm hearing the little bells, really cool. The vocal samples that they're using sound amazing, very Kid Cudi-esque. The humming, you know, very cool, vocalizing over the track. The drums are very subtle but very cool. You know, this is probably one of my favorite songs so far. Just in general, you know, production-wise, the verse was brilliant. You know, this has probably been my favorite track so far. There's lots of tiny little things in the beat going on that I might not even be picking up on right now, that just make this sound so complete and so special and so polished. Really cool, man. The execution on this entire thing has been crazy. It sounds like there's a flute.
Stove on, dope on my stove top, yeah. Percy, Miller, ice cream, my glass pot, yeah. The time in this shit, they can go with the cane. Shit that we popping off. Shit out like everyone niggas are keen for fame.
Flow is nuts. Freddy's going off.
That's the bottom whipping, cause the fumes make my face. It's the vocal, make my face.
The synths, the violin, bringing in that violin towards the end, that synth towards the end. Brilliant, man. Just making the production even better than I already thought it was. It was already my favorite, and now it's like doubly so. Such a great track. Freddie's verse is insane. This is just fire all the way through. There's really nothing else to say. It's just ridiculously fire. It's stupidly fire. It's great.
Keep falling off the wagon, but never hit the ground. Or should I say the bottom? That's the play. Depression is a bad combination. Ain't doing enough, just doing the most. Look, mama, I made that. Look, mama, I made that. The boy is a star soon enough.
He got his first Maybach. Been told that I've been chasing the dream even with.
This is crazy.
Even if it's trying to make tragedy turn triumph, but everybody trying to make family turn client job. Who, me? Nigga, I'm big calm. I just sense when the niggas, if you ask kids, been a fast year. I hear they only get faster with more chatter. It's like a difference between stairs and a ladder. I'm for the latter. Spelling will change for many factors. What's up?
Yeah, man, the auto-tune at the end with the vocalizing is definitely very Kanye-esque. You know, it sounds very inspired by 808s and Heartbreak. You know, it's that same sound where, you know, they're reminiscing and talking about something that used to bring them down, talking about their past struggles, and he's using the auto-tune and kind of like singing about it. You know, it's very much in that same vein of 808s and Heartbreak. Yo, and this beat drops and everything is so staticky and distorted and harsh and aggressive, and it sounds so frustrated, just like Richie with a T sounds during his verse. It matches his energy and he matches the beat's energy so well. The intro verse from Steppa J. Groggs is insane. You know, he's talking about his alcoholism and then overcoming that, and now he writes verses while his daughter is right next to him, and he's proud of his daughter and how far he's come and how he was able to make, you know, his daughter, and how he just wants to show, you know, his mom that he made it. Richie with a T's verse is crazy, talking about, you know, trying to make his grandfather proud, trying to reach other people's expectations of what it is to be great and what it is to be successful, and then also at the same time expressing some frustrations with these people who get success and fame and money and wealth and all this without necessarily having to work hard for it, you know. And it's very interesting to listen to. It's a beautifully made track. It's very emotional, very passionate, and I personally really enjoy it. Whoa. Wow, yo. This is crazy. Is anybody listening? Do people only hear what they want? Yes, that is the world we live in. You can write something very well written. You can spit the dopest message in the game. People will hear what you're saying and interpret it their own way, twist all your words, and rant about it on Twitter. It is what it is, man. Unfortunately, that's just the way the world is today. Everybody's got a hot take, and everybody wants other people to give them clout online for whatever hot take they're spitting. It's crazy. But it is what it is. We live in a society. Parker Corey's production has just been phenomenal, man. This entire project, really great. This guitar sounds really cool already.
Niggas that come up to me say that they looked up to me, yeah, and that they been fucking, and how a nigga post respond to some shit like that. Am I supposed to owe thanks to my songs, but they don't know behind them stories there's some shit that's just wrong.
Yo, the honesty is so dope.
That was fucking suitable. Was I true to you or using you? Or the unfortunate events to make my song flex that What I know, one day he was hooping and just dropped to the floor. And disbelief, man, I can never fathom coma. Fell to my knees and I started to pray. Said if he wakes up, I swear that I'll, man, wake the fuck up. Yo, luckily he did. My promise didn't last that people. Yeah, that shit was so wild. Seen that ugly ass grin, knew I made you proud. Yeah.
Yo, this track is probably my second favorite so far on this project. And not due to the production. The production's very cool. It's very simple and smooth and laid back. I love that, you know, it's got this really cool bounce to it and it's very subtle. But it's nothing to do with the production, the fact that this is my second favorite. It's purely lyrical. You know, the lyricism on this is insane. The imagery, the storytelling is just so crazy. It makes you feel. It takes you through what they were going through when this stuff was going on around them. It seems very personal to them, this track. You know, it feels like this is something that they made for themselves. It wasn't for us. It was and they had to get it off their chest. That's what this sounds like. You know, Richie with a T's verse in the beginning is so honest, talking about people who come up to him and say, your music changed my life, it saved my life, and how he says that he doesn't know how to respond to that, and at the same time he also doesn't want to be taking that credit for saving their lives because they had the strength to get themselves to a better place in the first place. You know, if they didn't have that strength, then no music could have come and saved them. So he says, you know, that basically by crediting me, they discredit themselves. So humble, so modest, and absolutely true. You know, if you feel like somebody helped you get out of a certain bad place or a bad spot in your life, yeah, they had a hand in it, they had a part in it, but you had the strength to also grab onto whatever they were throwing you and pull yourself out of whatever hole you were in. And he's saying, like, to all these people who tell him that he changed their lives, he's proud of them for doing what they did. And then he gets into his feelings and talks about, you know, somebody whose death he rapped about not going to their funeral, and how he thought that that was adequate when he wasn't even brave enough to go to their funeral, and just getting super introspective. And then Parker Corey talking about one of his friends who has a heart attack, goes into a coma, and he promises himself that he's going to be there for him, and then the dude comes back from the coma and he's not there for him, but the dude still makes it out to his show. He spots him from the crowd and the dude's smiling and he knows he made him proud. So beautiful, such great imagery, dude. And again, very emotional, very introspective, and amazing lyrically. It's the reason that this is my second favorite, just because I feel like it's just really well done, you know, really well executed. And for those of you wondering, Wax On is my favorite off this project so far, and then Best Spot in the House, and then third is probably going to be Rap Song Tutorial, just because how creative that was.
I've been calling for you, know you must time. It's one of the things you can't deny. It's one of the things you may not like. While I'm
Yo, this is wavy.
posting up, but then I thought I might.
Yo, that's crazy. The vocoder, bro. Yeah. This is too smooth, bro.
Quite a long time now.
This is great, man.
And I said, how could I said it to some friends, but I don't mean like that. I put all my bread on us if I, or maybe be a doctor, nothing like they dad. Maybe by then technology more of you.
The violin is absolutely beautiful.
Hoping they meet someone that may.
Yo, are you kidding me? It's a beautiful track. It's gonna be one of my favorites. I'm thinking this entire album might just be all 100% just phenomenal. You know, my favorite tracks list has gotten to be like 4 or 5 songs now already. It's crazy, you know. This is too beautiful. It's extremely ridiculously smooth. All the performances are great. Dram did his thing. You know, Richie with the T's verse is very beautiful. I'm loving Tony Velour's chorus. Dylan Brady on the vocoder. I'm trying to credit all the right people here. And yeah, man, Dylan Brady and Parker Corey on the production. Yo, this song is beautiful. It's amazing. Very wavy, very smooth. I'm in love with it, honestly. I'm going to listen to this for a long time later on. I'm going to get in my feelings, bro. Last track, 3-Man Weave. Let's go. The horns, the guitar, saxophone.
Yo, worries were missing a free throw. Now me, Grimes, and Pete doing the 3-man weave though.
That good, had the dot I see dubs with the panel of wood. Couldn't tell me that I went. Sorry, young, you spent your money on those cans, but we both knew I never had a chance. In rap parallels, I was like Rusty said. Plus, if it was today, I probably.
Yo, this man just said Russ is like a JV rapper. Tell me why that is like the most accurate shit I've heard in so long, bro. Russ is like JV level rap. That's crazy, bro. That is hilarious to me. Oh man. Alright. And by the way, I'm laughing because it's funny. It's a funny parallel to me, but I'm not saying he's dissing Russ. JV, it doesn't mean that you're bad. It just means that you're not as good as Varsity. He even says Russ is decent here, so, you know, it's not a diss. It's just funny. That saxophone is insane. Yo, the production on this is so great. I love the horns, I love the samples, I love the drums. Very, very cool. I think it's a really emphatic, triumphant outro. You know, Richie with a T and Steppa J. Groggs both had really dope verses. They had some really funny bars. You know, they had some really cool parallels. Very fond memories of high school. You know, this song is basically them reminiscing on how far they've come and reminiscing on what life was like when they were in high school and having no repercussions for what they used to do and just playing basketball and having fun. It sounds very wistful. That's what it sounds like. Very cool outro to this project, man. Very, very dope. Alright, yo, Injury Reserve, their self-titled album. What to say about this thing, man? Such a great project, such an awesome experience listening to this. The lyricism is insane, you know, the storytelling is great, the imagery is great, the humor is there, the metaphors are there, you know, it's all very, very well created and well crafted and well executed lyrically. And when they want to take on a serious tone, they can do that very well. And when they want to take on a wistful, reminiscent tone, they can do that. And when they want to take on a playful tone, they can do that. You know, it's very versatile and it's very interesting to listen to. They keep every single track so fresh. That's one of the benefits of experimental music like this, is songs don't really get repetitive. Albums don't really get repetitive because it's really tough for a song to sound similar to another one. You know, so they definitely did a great job at keeping this listen very interesting all the way through, very fresh all the way through. This whole project is full of very awesome experimental production, very cool messages, very awesome subject matter that they touch on, you know, in their verses. Everything about this just feels so intentional and very well crafted and very well executed. You know, this entire thing just feels very polished, refreshing to listen to. All the guest features were very dope. You know, I think that Rico Nasty was great. I think that Dram was great. I think that Freddie Gibbs was great. Like, the features on this felt like they fit the tracks so well. You know, Peggy, JPEG Mafia, awesome song with him on it. You know, it's all of this is really dope. The fact that this and Igor dropped on the same day is mind-blowing to me, you know, because I don't even want to talk about comparing these two albums. I'm just saying both of them are absolutely beautiful, and the fact that they both dropped on the same day is amazing. You know, that Friday that they both dropped is probably one of the best Fridays that we've had in a while. You know, music-wise. Too many good songs, too much good music that came out there. So this project is amazing from Injury Reserve. It really makes me more interested in them and in their next project and in going back and listening to Drive It Like It's Stolen. I really enjoyed it, man. And I hope you guys enjoyed the video and watching me react to these songs and watching me break down the production. I had a really fun time doing this. If you think that the channel's cool and the content is cool, consider supporting me with a subscription, with a like, with a comment down below. Consider becoming a patron or follow me on my social media. You know, any of that would be really dope. And like I said, I really hope you enjoyed this video, and I hope to keep making this content that you guys enjoy. I hope to listen to more great music like this another time very, very soon. So I'm going to be editing this tonight. It'll be out tomorrow morning, Wednesday. I'm not going to be able to record tomorrow on Wednesday, so there will probably be no video on Thursday. Tomorrow I've got some errands to run. I'm not going to be able to find time to make any videos, but the next video that I am going to be making is a throwback video on Rodeo by Travis Scott. After that, I will be doing Birds in the Trap, Sing McKnight, and after that, if nothing major comes out, I will be doing a throwback series on Kendrick Lamar's discography, so I hope you are all ready for that. Until the next video, stay safe, guys. I will see you very soon.